Getting older doesn't have to mean losing your memory, but did you know that some everyday foods could be speeding up memory loss? It's true. Studies show that certain foods, ones you might eat every day, could be hurting your brain more than you think. Here's a shocking fact. People who eat too much sugar have almost a 50% higher risk of developing Alzheimer's. And it's not just sugar. Hidden dangers are lurking in foods like white bread, margarine, and even that healthy diet soda. These foods could be silently sabotaging your brain. But don't worry, there's good news. By knowing what to avoid, you can protect your memory and keep your brain sharp. In this video, we're going to reveal the 6 foods that could be damaging your brain. We'll dive into why these foods are harmful and give you easy tips on what to eat instead. So if you're over 60 and want to keep your memory strong, stay tuned. You might be surprised by what you learn and the simple changes you can make to protect your brain for the long haul. Let's get started. Chapter 1. The Sugar Trap. Hidden dangers in everyday treats. Sugar might seem harmless, especially when it's tucked into your favorite treats. But as we age, it's important to realize that sugar isn't just about sweet taste. It's a stealthy enemy to your memory. Studies show that high sugar intake can cause inflammation in the brain, particularly in regions crucial for memory, like the hippocampus. That's a big deal because as you get older, your brain becomes more sensitive to these effects. Did you know that consuming just one sugary drink per day can increase your risk of developing Alzheimer's by almost 47%? That's according to a study published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease. It's not just about gaining weight or managing diabetes, it's about protecting your cognitive abilities. The tricky part is that sugar is often hidden in foods you wouldn't expect, like bread, salad dressings, and even healthy snacks. You might think you're eating well, but these hidden sugars add up quickly. A practical strategy is to start reading labels more carefully. Look out for ingredients like high fructose corn syrup, cane sugar, or anything ending in ose. A great tip is to replace sugary foods with natural sweeteners. Fruits like berries can satisfy your sweet tooth while delivering antioxidants that help fight brain inflammation. When you're craving something sweet, try dark chocolate instead. It has less sugar and is rich in flavonoids, which are known to improve brain function. Remember, it's not just about cutting out sugar completely, but about being mindful of how much and where it's coming from. Reducing sugar is like giving your brain a breath of fresh air, allowing it to function at its best. Chapter 2. Artificial ingredients. The silent saboteurs. Artificial ingredients might make your food look or taste better, but they're not doing your brain any favors. These additives, found in many processed foods, can subtly sabotage your memory. A lot of these ingredients are designed to trick your taste buds, but they can also trick your brain into malfunctioning. Take artificial sweeteners, for example. These are often marketed as a healthier alternative to sugar, but they can have a negative impact on your brain health. Aspartame, a common sweetener, has been linked to headaches, mood swings, and memory issues. According to a study in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition, long-term consumption of artificial sweeteners can actually increase your risk of cognitive decline. What's more, artificial colors and preservatives can also affect your brain. Some studies suggest that certain food dyes, like yellow number 5, can lead to hyperactivity and memory problems. These additives are often found in brightly colored snacks and drinks, which are especially tempting, but it's wise to steer clear. A good strategy here is to simplify your diet. Stick to whole foods. Think fresh fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. These foods don't need artificial ingredients to taste good. If you're buying packaged foods, look for those with short ingredient lists and no artificial additives. Another great tip is to cook more at home. When you prepare your own meals, you have full control over what goes into your food. This way, you can avoid the hidden dangers of artificial ingredients and focus on nourishing your brain with wholesome, natural foods. In summary, cutting out artificial ingredients isn't just a dietary choice, it's a step toward a healthier brain. By being mindful of what you're eating, you can avoid these silent saboteurs and protect your memory as you age. If you want more great videos, hit subscribe and let's keep going. Chapter 3. Inflammation Nation. Fats that fire up your brain. When it comes to protecting your memory, not all fats are created equal. Some fats are essential for brain health, while others can ignite inflammation that can damage your brain over time. The culprits? Trans fats and certain saturated fats, which are often found in processed and fried foods. Trans fats, in particular, are the worst offenders. They're commonly found in margarine, baked goods, and fast food. The problem with trans fats is that they can increase inflammation in the brain, leading to memory loss and cognitive decline. A study published in Neurology found that people who consumed the most trans fats had a 52% higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. Saturated fats, while not as harmful as trans fats, can still contribute to brain inflammation when consumed in excess. These fats are often found in red meat, butter, and full-fat dairy products. Over time, a diet high in saturated fats can increase the risk of memory problems, according to research from the Journal of the American Medical Association. So, what's the strategy? First, focus on cutting back on trans fats altogether. The easiest way to do this is by avoiding processed foods and checking labels for ingredients like partially hydrogenated oils. These oils are a dead giveaway that trans fats are present. Next, try to limit your intake of saturated fats. This doesn't mean you have to cut out red meat or dairy completely, but opt for lean cuts of meat, low-fat dairy products, and plant-based alternatives whenever possible. Swapping butter for olive oil is another simple change that can make a big difference. You should also prioritize healthy fats that support brain health. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fish like salmon and in flax seeds, are known to reduce brain inflammation and improve memory. A quote from Dr. David Perlmutter, author of Grain Brain, sums it up well. Healthy fats are the building blocks for a healthy brain. Incorporating more of these good fats into your diet while minimizing the bad ones is a powerful way to protect your memory as you age. It's not about eliminating all fats, but choosing the right ones to keep your brain sharp. Chapter 4. The Grain Drain. Why refined carbs are brain busters. Refined carbohydrates might give you a quick energy boost, but they're no friend to your brain. Foods like white bread, pasta, and pastries are stripped of their nutrients and can lead to rapid spikes and crashes in blood sugar. This roller coaster effect can leave you feeling sluggish and forgetful. When your blood sugar spikes, it triggers a surge of insulin. Over time, these repeated spikes can lead to insulin resistance, which has been linked to cognitive decline. In fact, research published in Diabetes Care found that people with insulin resistance were 40% more likely to develop Alzheimer's disease. One of the biggest problems with refined carbs is that they lack the fiber found in whole grains. Fiber slows down the absorption of sugar, helping to keep your blood sugar levels stable. Without it, your body quickly absorbs the sugar from refined carbs, leading to those dreaded spikes. So, how can you avoid the grain drain? Start by swapping out refined carbs for whole grains. Instead of white bread, try whole grain or sprouted grain bread. Replace white rice with brown rice or quinoa. These whole grains are packed with fiber, which helps protect your brain by keeping blood sugar levels steady. Another strategy is to balance your meals with protein and healthy fats. This combination slows down the digestion of carbs, preventing blood sugar spikes. For example, if you're having oatmeal for breakfast, add a handful of nuts or a spoonful of almond butter. It's also worth paying attention to portion sizes. Even whole grains can cause blood sugar spikes if you eat too much at once. Stick to recommended serving sizes and pair your grains with plenty of vegetables to fill you up without overloading on carbs. By making these simple changes, you can avoid the brain-busting effects of refined carbs and keep your memory sharp. It's all about choosing the right grains and balancing your meals to support your brain health. Chapter 5. Salt Overload. How sodium sinks your synapses. We all know that too much salt isn't great for our hearts, but did you know it can also be a major brain drain? High sodium intake can elevate your blood pressure, which in turn reduces blood flow to the brain. This decrease in circulation can impair cognitive functions, including memory. A study in hypertension found that people with high blood pressure were 40% more likely to experience cognitive decline as they aged. This is because consistent high blood pressure can damage the arteries leading to your brain, making it harder for your brain to get the oxygen and nutrients it needs. Processed foods are often loaded with hidden sodium. Even foods that don't taste particularly salty, like bread and cereal, can be high in sodium. It's easy to consume more than the recommended daily limit of 2,300 milligrams without even realizing it. One strategy to reduce sodium is to cook more meals at home. When you prepare your own food, you control the amount of salt that goes in. Instead of reaching for the salt shaker, try seasoning with herbs and spices. Garlic, basil, and rosemary can add flavor without the sodium. Another approach is to be mindful of portion sizes when eating out. Restaurant meals are often high in sodium, so consider sharing a dish or asking for sauces and dressings on the side. This gives you more control over how much sodium you consume. It's also helpful to read labels carefully. Look for foods labeled low sodium or no added salt. Keep an eye out for sodium content even in foods you might not expect, like canned vegetables or salad dressings. Dr. Neil Barnard, in his book Power Foods for the Brain, advises that reducing sodium intake is one of the simplest ways to protect your brain from cognitive decline. Cutting back on sodium isn't just about avoiding the salt shaker. It's about making conscious choices to protect your brain. By being aware of where sodium hides and finding tasty alternatives, you can keep your synapses firing on all cylinders. Chapter 6. Alcohol Aftermath, the Cognitive Costs of Cocktails. Enjoying a glass of wine or a cocktail can be one of life's little pleasures, but moderation is key, especially when it comes to your brain health. While occasional drinking may not pose significant risks, regular consumption of alcohol can take a toll on your memory. Research published in The Lancet Public Health found that heavy drinking was associated with a 57% increased risk of dementia. Alcohol can shrink the brain, damage white matter, and disrupt the communication between brain cells, all of which are critical for maintaining memory. Even moderate drinking can affect the brain. The British Medical Journal reported that people who drank between 14 and 21 units of alcohol per week, about 10 glasses of wine, had a threefold higher risk of hippocampal atrophy, which is the loss of brain cells in the area responsible for memory. To protect your memory, it's important to limit your alcohol intake. The current guidelines suggest that women should have no more than 1 drink per day and men no more than 2. If you do drink, try to have alcohol-free days during the week to give your brain a break. Another strategy is to choose your drinks wisely. Red wine, for instance, contains resveratrol, a compound that has been shown to have some protective effects on the brain. However, the benefits of resveratrol can be outweighed by the harmful effects of alcohol if you drink too much. You might also consider replacing your usual drink with a healthier alternative. Mocktails, sparkling water with a splash of fruit juice, or herbal teas can be just as enjoyable without the alcohol. These options can help you cut down on alcohol without feeling deprived. Dr. Daniel Amen, a well-known psychiatrist and author, often says, "What you choose to drink is either helping or hurting your brain." By choosing wisely and drinking in moderation, you can enjoy life's pleasures without putting your memory at risk. In conclusion, protecting your memory as you age doesn't mean giving up everything you enjoy. It's about making smarter choices that support your brain health. By understanding how alcohol affects your brain and taking steps to limit its impact, you can help ensure your memory stays strong for years to come. Enjoyed this? Hit subscribe and join us for more fun and informative videos.